Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
And some water, sir?
I'm getting it printed.
No, I'm not. I don't know yet. No, I thought we could.
Yeah, yeah. I get that.
Yeah, we got a problem.
Good afternoon, everyone. Would you kindly stand, please, for the Rotary Grace? And that is done by P.P. Wade Miller.
Pray. Grant, O Lord, that the true spirit of service above self enter our hearts, and that our every act be guided by the four-way test of Rotary. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you for the prayer. We will now have the national anthem, and that is done by P.P. Paul Hepburn.
Can I get one? Can't.
Okay, is Ken Piper here?
Yes, it's there.
Mr. Ken Piper, Rotary.
There is a yes, please. Place of flag on the one film. It belongs to our country. Lift up your head to the rising sun. March to glory, your bright banners waving high. See how the world marks the manner of your victory. Let's to excel through love and unity. Pressing onward, march together to a common goal. Ready, sunward, though the weather eyes so wide and treacherous shore. Lift up your head to the rising sun. Land, till the road you trod leads us to your God. March on,
Remain standing, please, for the loyal toast. To the King and Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
To the King, Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
So we would be seated, please. Be seated. Thank you. Do we have any visiting Rotarians in the house? Would you kindly stand, please, and tell us who you are?
Hi, Karen, Rotary Club of National Sunrise.
Karen is a family. Karen is family.
Thank you. Is there any Rotarian online? Visiting Rotarians?
Accent.
Would you unmute your mic, please, and tell us who you are?
I will graciously accept it.
Is there any guests in the house today? Would you kindly stand, please, and tell us who you are?
I've got the bar.
Come on, there gotta be some guests in the house today. Okay, is there any guests online?
No.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome you. On behalf of our esteemed president, Kino McCartney, and the entire Rotary Club of Nassau, we say thank you for joining us today on this special event. We are committed to serve you. You are important to us. We thank you, appreciate you, applaud you, celebrate you, and value you. Feel free to join us at any time. We will now have our esteemed president with the announcements. From Kino McCartney, thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate that. I'm gonna actually bow now. I'm gonna have the president of Rotary Club of West Nassau to come bring some remarks. This is a very special day, and I'm gonna bow and allow him to go ahead and lead us, and I'll come on afterward. Come on, let's welcome our president from the great Rotary Club of West Nassau.
Thank you, President Kino, and thank you to the Rotary Club of Nassau for welcoming us and hosting us today on a very special day for us as well. It's our 55th club anniversary. 55 years ago today, September 2nd, 1970, this club was started, the best club in the West. But it's nice to come back to our spiritual home here with the Rotary Club of Nassau, who sponsored us and have been great friends to us for that 55 years. I believe, from what I've been told from the spirit of the club, we haven't really done very many of these kinds of things, joint events, joint meetings. And so I think it's fitting that we do it with our sponsoring club on such an illustrious day like this. And again, I thank you all for your support and your friendship over the years. Looking forward to more years of friendship and looking forward to having a great meeting today. Thank you again.
Right. Mr. President, it is my great pleasure to welcome all of you here today. I was actually really dreaming about this day because you and I have a lot in common. I was actually born in 1970. So, but it's December. So we have a lot in common. When I thought about when Daniel approached me and he said, listen, let's do a joint meeting. I said, absolutely. Because historically, the Rotary Club of West Nassau has led the way as the only male club in this country. Come on, let's give it up. You have maintained a standard that many persons actually envy in England country. And I really want to tip my hat off to you because for 55 years you've led the way. And of course, Rotary Club of Nassau, who's your host club, it's our honor to be able to come together again on your 55th anniversary and to celebrate you here today. Now, thank God I'm not a numbers man. I don't go around playing no numbers. So I don't want nobody playing no number today. Now, Mr. Treasurer, why you look at me like that? But it's just a pleasure. PAG is good to have you in the place. Come on, let's give it up for PAG Karen. Have a chance today. It's always a joy and a pleasure to have you with us today. Just a couple of announcements I want to bring to everyone's attention. And of course, you would all know that later down in this month, we're going to be doing the joint church service, September 21st. So I hope you all are putting that in your calendar. And of course, right after the joint church service, there's going to be a joint fellowship that same afternoon. This past weekend, we had a very, very successful joint partnership with the Wireless Club of Monarchy. And we did a joint partnership with them. We went into the community over at Woodcock Primary School, and we did a back to school free giveaway. And it was just a tremendous success. Hundreds of children were there. Not only were there backpacks, but there were children who were getting their hair braided. Young men were getting their hair cut. And it was just a tremendous success. I really want to say a shout out to Danny, who was there. Danny was on the grill. Alton was on the grill. Jamel, Veteran Jamel, Samita, and of course, my wonderful buddy. My buddy's walking in right now. There she is, Catherine, who was in charge of the hot dogs and the hamburgers. And listen, let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, it was such a joy to see the smiles on those children's faces when they came and we spent the time with them. So again, give it up. Let's give a round of applause for a joint partnership. Our district governor has challenged our district 7020 to go and not only do joint fellowships, but also partnership with other organizations. And I also want to let you know that we have gotten the MOU from the Red Cross, the Bahamas Red Cross, and we are now reviewing the MOU. The presidents of all the clubs are going to be reviewing that, because we are about to, the Rotary Club of the Bahamas, of course, the Rotary Club of Nassau and all the Rotary clubs, about to do a major partnership with the Bahamas Red Cross, where we will be supplying AEDs for the public and also training. That's a major initiative that is happening between these two major clubs. So stay tuned for that. And of course, this month is education and literacy. So we're beginning this month, and all of you are welcome to join us. Samita, I'm gonna just let Samita come and just update us in terms of what's happening over the next couple of weeks with the drop and read and also with the literacy.
You said something about buying
AEDs. Defibrillators, I'm sorry. They're the things that if a person has a heart attack. Sorry. That's a defibrillator. If a person, they faint or they're ill, that can be used to spark their heart, give the heart a little jolt to bring them back. And they will also be offering CPR training to allow persons to resuscitate persons. So that is something that is happening. So stay tuned for that. Let me just finish up while Samita is coming. Alandra is also, just so that you be aware, again, I'm updating you that we have just brought on 2 new Interact clubs. Come on, let's give a round of applause for that. The Bahamas has joined us, and also South Haven has joined us. So they are very excited to become a part of our Interact Club. And of course, Aaron Bailey is still with us. C.V. Bethel and Ellen Coakley are also schools that we are negotiating to come back to us. So there's a lot of things that is happening inside the club. And then finally, I want to announce that this is for all of the clubs, for Rotary Club of West Nassau is the RLI training is coming up September 27 and 28. I must really emphasize this, ladies and gentlemen, because this is where we develop our leaders. I'm going to encourage you to make sure that our leadership development for all Rotarians, so that you and I will get the knowledge that we need to lead our great club. More information is going to be coming out on that in terms of the RLI training, 27 and 28. So please stay tuned. Samita?
Thank you, President Keno, RCWN. How are you today? RCN, how are you today? There's a song that reminds me about what I'm going to not really advertise, but tell you about. Dr. Oz says, get involved, get involved. Jeffrey, can you sing that like your brother Gio? You can sing, you're not singing like him. Okay, I got you. But we're getting involved. As you would have heard from President Keno, just collaborated with the Kiwanis Club of Fort Montague, and it was an excellent time joining in with them during their back to school initiative. Our back to school initiative commences tomorrow at our adopted school, Stephen Dillett. What are we doing for the school? I know a lot of individuals gave out backpacks, but we decided to take a different spin and twist. We are actually going to supply about 20 of their students with insurance. These are vulnerable students who were unable to meet the insurance fee, which would have prohibited them from going on school trips and the like. So we're doing that along with some chapter books and resource books for the school, and digital literacy is just as important. So we will be actually donating a laptop. Come on, give it up for RCN! We are so excited. We're actually joining them every Wednesday with their drop and read program. It just does not start tomorrow and end, but it is a continuation of empowering students to read, learn, and have fun, because reading is fun. And President Keno, seeing that we are in the basic, what is this? Basic Education and Literacy Month, we have a little trivia that we want to do. I asked our president for the RCWN to join me in this little trivia, and our gifts are being donated by Template. You can't miss it, the best place in the Bahamas. So you want to be the winner of this. Do we have a jingle? Come on, President, come on. Get your brains percolated. All right. So do you want to go first? All right, this is for RCN. All right, let's go, let's go. Are you calculating?
All right, so we're gonna do a question of trivia from the RCN about the West Club, and it's directed to the Nassau Club. See if you get the answer. And if you get the answer, I guess you get one of these wonderful prizes. So, which former Speaker of the House of Assembly is a current member and past president of the Rotary Club of West Nassau?
Hand in the back.
No.
Sir, come on, Laverne, you got this. All right, give it up. Laverne, come please. Yes, give her a hand clap as she comes. Her brain is percolating. It is education and it's fun. Enjoy your gift.
Hey.
Okay. Turn it around so you can show template.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, you're welcome. And this goes out to RCWN. You all are all males club, right? But I think Rotary Club of Nassau was once all men, but there's one of our members who was the first female to join the club. Anyone, the first female. Karen. Well, Sheila's just like, but no, it's not Sheila. The first.
Right.
Yeah, give it up. Oh, that's all the way from Template.
Right.
I expect to share.
Yes, expect you to share.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We encourage to get involved. All right.
Thank you very much, Amita. Come on, give it up. She has a lot of energy. James. All right, just before we have our sergeant and I come to make one more announcement, I noticed that on the tables, we have something special on the tables. We have some bottles of wine. So you get enough wine on the table without have, Sheila, you took the whole bottle of wine? Oh, please forgive Sheila. John, please forgive Sheila. Take the bottle of wine. So listen, we cannot have wine on the table without making a toast. So gentlemen, ladies, please, let's make a toast. I'm gonna invite our president to come to make a toast, but I would like to make a toast. So if you have the wine or if you have water, please get your glasses together. And I want to make a toast to the Rotary Club of Nassau, Rotary Club of West Nassau, and across of Nassau. My toast is to a wonderful, healthy future as we continue to make a difference in our country. The two great clubs coming together to change our nation and to change lives. Unite for good. Unite for good. Brother?
Thank you, President Leo. And just one more toast again to the Rotary Club of West Nassau and to Rotary Club of Nassau, to our friendship and many more years of it. And also for the Rotary Club of West Nassau, just another little toast for us. Toast to our recently fallen member, PP Charlie McCartney. So a toast to West Nassau, Nassau, and PP Charlie.
Charlie.
Thank you very much.
You ready?
Just before Jamal goes and introduces, I understand that we have a number of QC people in here today. Are there a number of QC people in here?
Yeah.
QC, please let me recognize you.
Comments.
The comments in the house,
Comment carry.
a number of QC comments,
Carrot.
all right?
Hey, God, my money.
I really want to acknowledge you because it's such an honor to have Ms. Van here. Come on, Jamal, come right here, come right here. And everyone who's been coming up has been hailing and hugging Ms. Vanity. You are a rock star, Ms. Vanity. She's also the godmother of my two children. So come on, give it up for Ms. Vanity.
Thank you, President Kino. Comment or nothing?
All right.
All right. So mine was, what do they call those people, down there on Burnett Road? Yeah, we don't know, that's right. Fellow Rotarians, all of you, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce our speaker today. You know, I gotta try to how you power. All right. But I should say that I had the pleasure that Ms. Benby was my second grade teacher, I believe. All right. Yes, that's right. One thing about Benny. She loved you. I remember. You see that? Okay, hold on now, Mr. President. Hold on now. All right, but she's given me the liberty to paraphrase this bio. From this bio, you can tell that she's has a distinguished career in education. So I'm happy that I don't have to read all of this, but just know that she's very learned, very skilled in her chosen career. Sylvia Beneby, educator, administrator, certified trainer, coach, builder, mentor. She's a National Merit Honor recipient. Maiden name is Diggers, and as you know, I think you all know Dr. Diggers, the sister of Dr. Diggers. Charles Diggers, right? Very good doctor. Very humble doctor. I know he helped me quite a bit as well. Finances, that is. She's a passionate, committed, and dedicated educator. She served at Queen's College for 42 years. After completing her bachelor's degree in early childhood, from the Concordia University, Montreal, Canada. She started at Queen's College as a grade 1 classroom teacher in 1982. Throughout her career at QC, Mrs. Beneby advocated for the best educational practices. She ensured that students in the primary school developed a love for reading and that parents were actively engaged in their child's learning. She's an advocate for being at the forefront of education, and she was instrumental in introducing technology and computer-assisted learning in the classroom. She spearheaded the drive for opening the first computer lab in the primary school, and her drive and motivation stem from her belief that each student is a gift from God and requires the professional educator to embrace them as opportunities for growth and grace. You know, I think I would really do injustice if I skip any of this. I'm gonna try to paraphrase, but it's just very important information. All right, Mrs. Benaby, unwavering dedication to the success of all students drove her daily work and showcased exceptional leadership skills. She considers herself diverse professional experiences in education to be well-rounded, preparing her to serve Queens College in various capacities and positions. Curriculum coordinator, deputy head, vice principal, and head of primary school. Notably, she held the position of head of primary school from 2009 to 2024, where she retired after 42 years of dedicated service. She's an avid reader and lifelong learner. She's been a member of the Association of Supervision and Curriculum Development, also known as ASCD, since 1982, and a member of the National Association of Elementary School Principals. She actively participated in local and international workshops and conferences. Currently, she's a builder in Dr. Robin Jackson's coaching program, an innovative training course designed to align staff to achieve 100% student success. She's also a John Gordon certified trainer and coach of a workshop facilitator for the power of positive things and the power of positive themes. Before her retirement, yes, sorry. Before her retirement in June 2024, she served as vice president of the Primary Principals Association. She is currently an inspector and a member of the Bahamas Preschool and Daycare Council. She is married to Charles Benaby, and they are the proud parents of one son, Dominic. The family worships at Evangelistic Temple, where she serves as a young adult Sunday school teacher in the Children's Ministry Department. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, please help me to welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Sylvia Benaby.
Thank you to my former student. And let me first of all say good afternoon, and it is indeed a pleasure for me to be here among such great men and women. I want to say, first of all, that when Samita called on another matter, she asked me something and I said, yeah, I can. Then she said, oh, Rotary has an educational track going on in September, and you could be our guest speaker. And the fourth and the third Tuesday was available. Then she comes back and she says, no, it's not available. It's either the first or whatever. Then she drops the bomb and she says, and Keno says to tell you hello. Now, if I was about to tell her no, when she said, Keno said to tell you hello, she knew that was a seal deal. Keno and Lisa go way back with us. My husband taught Keno at St. Augustine's College. But like him, Keno married, even though Lisa went to St. Augustine's College. Her primary school years was at Queen's College, and SAC men got a thing, or SAC women got a thing with marrying QC people. So there is, it has been this collaboration and this friendship between SAC and QC has been going on for years. And the one good thing about it is in my house, my husband don't talk about SAC. And I don't talk about, he had to put up with me 42 years, but no, not that long. but he had to put up with me with PC, but the good thing about it is, it is a healthy relationship and great things came out of Bolton Augusta
Yes.
and Queens College, and there is a place for every school, and sometimes people win, and sometimes we just have to try harder and do better. So that's my disclaimer. The other side of it, the president to my left is also my former second grade student. So you all do the math. You all do the math. Yes, I taught with Daniel parent, and I actually knew when Daniel's mom was pregnant with him. So that's how long I have known. And then he came to me and he said, and I'm looking at him, I said, boy, take all of this stuff off your head, and I can wear it. He wasn't this heavy, and he could say the same thing for me, I guess, and he didn't have all this hair and beard on his face, but in short, it is a delight to be here today. Now, once you're at your table, I'm not a talk at you kind of speaker. I want to engage you because the topic today is really important. And no matter where we fit in the spectrum, we all have an opinion and a belief about education. So it's for 30 seconds now, I know even though you're talking, just across the table with each other. When you hear the word education, what does that mean to you? Just cross your table, speak to somebody at your table. What does education mean to you? One word or a phrase. Speak to each other at the table.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody want to give me a shout out from the table that you came up with?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Somebody else?
That's true.
That's so true. Anybody from this side of the row?
Gateway to success.
And somebody from the back table. They had knowledge about and power. And the middle table.
Understanding.
All right, so all of us are at the same ball game because that's what education means across the board. Education is responsible for all of those things. And education has always played a crucial role in society, providing people the tools they need to navigate life. Traditionally, this meant that students learning in classrooms where teachers lectured them in those days. Students often sat quietly and listened and memorized information. So now we're talking about the traditional. While this traditional way of teaching was important, it came with challenges. The system then was often rigid and didn't accommodate individual learning styles. Now see, I can deviate from my script a little bit and let's tell a story. When most of us were in school, you think our parents was concerned with our learning style?
No.
They sent us to school to do what? Listen to the teacher, do what the teacher say, get what the teacher told you, give it back to the teacher so you could get a grade, come home, do your homework, go back to school the next day. That was the tradition of education. And back then, education, schools had the support of the church, the home, the community, and they all collaborated and worked together. Now, I've seen it all at QC. Let me give a disclaimer. I'm a graduate of QC. We are celebrating 50 years this year. I'm a graduate of the class of 1975. And so my whole life has been on the visual, the Queen's College, right? I lived at the schoolhouse, kind of way. Now, most of us when we went to school, we knew what we were there for. And we did what we were supposed to do. Now, those of us that are parents, we decided our parents were so hard on us. So our children have a voice now. And they go into school for other reasons other than what our parents sent us to school for. Because our parents, we knew what was expected. I could not come home and tell my parent about, or the teacher don't like me, or I forgot and left my homework in the car, or the dog ate my homework. See, all these creative stories that we hear along the way that children today get away with because they know their parents are flying on a helicopter. When something comes up, and it's not all parents, but some of us do, or once in a while, all of us have done it, say by rare and precious couple, our children, against the forces. But Jamal and Daniel could tell you, when they got dropped on Village Road and they entered the gates and they entered the classroom, they couldn't go home and tell their parents nothing other than I learned and I had a good day. Because that's what, like somebody said, And the money wasn't big then. And that's relative to what we call big. Or when Mr. Watkins and I were in school, the money wasn't big. But oh, when they were in school, the money was big. And then like I tell my son, and when he was in school, the money was even bigger. And I tell him, and I had discount and the money was big. So those of you who didn't get discount, I know it was huge. But we all did it for a purpose. We did it because we wanted what was best for our children. And we wanted our children to get more and be better and do more with what education is supposed to empower them with, provide them with the skills that they need. And when I reflect on my childhood in the 1960s and 70s, my education was with getting spit. The teacher, I listened to the teacher, I get it, I spit it back out. Today, that will not work with the current generation. So presently, that's not the way that teachers can operate with children. First of all, our children today can't sit for half an hour, 45 minutes, and listen to no teacher talk at that. That's not going to happen. First of all, the music playing, the earphones ain't in their ear, but the music playing in their head. Secondly, they passing messages or they are not focused on the teacher. And if the teacher doesn't have the skills of a Hollywood actor or the video games that they play to entertain them, the teacher is lost from day one. So unfortunately or fortunately for the teachers of today, they have to keep abreast of the way the children learn. And these children today learn from a multiplicity of ways. And the teacher, now teacher training, they didn't teach them, and when they went to college and university, they didn't teach them all of that, all of the multiplicity of ways. They taught them there's learning style, there's the auditory learner, the visual learner, the kinesthetic learner, and then you had Howard Gardner who had his theories, those things we learned. But with this fast pace, virtual learning that's happening and the gaming and all of the different aspects of what is out there in the world for our children today. And we think it's so cute when our grandchildren and our children could just take your phone at 6 months and slide. And we think that is just the greatest thing in the world next to cheesecake or chocolate cake. But we don't know or we don't realize that the teacher in the classroom is not prepared to deal with all of the technology, the fast pace of all of the technology that is out there. They're not equipped to handle all of that. And whether we like it or not, traditional and the old way, there's a place in schools for that. I have seen over the years that handwriting of our children today absolutely atrocious. They all children write like doctors. At least doctors have an excuse. But the penmanship is nowhere like it used to be. One time ago, you could look at writing and you got children in the Catholic schools. One time ago, when you encountered a child was always, loved reading, you said, oh, that's a QC student because they always had a book in their hand. Because QC determined once you enter their school, we are going to give you the tool that you need to be successful in this world. You need to know how to read. And so we provided the books every night that children had to read every night. And then they had to write a little blurb about what they read. And the parent had to make a comment in their reading journal as to how well they read or what they read. I asked a question the other day. I couldn't get an answer from anybody because everybody in the room was my age or around my age. And I said, remember when we were pregnant and whatever, and we used to read to babies in our summers? Does that still happen today? Yeah. Because some traditional things that worked a long time ago still works today. How many parents or grandparents read to their children in the night before they go to bed, or read to their children, period? And not from the iPad, a book. Let me see a show of hands. How many of you? I rest my case. So, but you were read to, you read to your professional children. But the things that made them successful, we too busy to do. And we wonder why we are where we are today. So, a little reminder, since Rotary is emphasizing reading, and I'm pledging both to Kena and Samita, I will join you at at Stephen Dillard for the month of September. I will go and I will read the because I'm gonna put my money and time where my mouth is, because I did it at QC for years, yes,
There are
sir.
two clubs here, you know.
He's joining Unique Club of
One
Nassau.
got do for the other.
Two,
Other than that,
one for two.
I will go and find your daddy. Two brothers.
Daniel, field work something. See, you trying us to read on me, you drop a name, and like somebody said to me, there's another side band story. He said, daddy and brother. Charles, and I married the Charles.
You stop.
So, yeah, so when somebody calls my brother's name, I just politely
Drop the mic.
dropped my head and I said, where would you like me? So we will work something out, but because I am so passionate about reading and I believe that reading is important, and not only that, I believe that the paper books still hold a place in this world today. I am as abreast with technology it is. I'm currently doing a course in AI. Simply, people say, but you're retired, why? Because my mentor has she has access to her 24 hours, but the access is through the AI coach. So whether I either could not learn how to use it properly and miss out and pay my money and miss a section that is available. So 24 hours a day, if I come across something, if I have a challenge, I can go and speak to my AI coach. And that there are pluses and minuses for everything, but let's go back to the paper book. The children today need to reset and press a pause button. So those of you that are parents and grandparents, gently nudge and remind, especially those of you that have young grandchildren, put them in your laps and start reading the paper books back to them. It worked for us. It will certainly work for them. And I mean, I hear it all the time. I get it from my 21-year-old son. When he was in school, he loved to read. But he tells me now, I said, but everyone, and you see me and your daddy reading, and it's not. We do read online, but we read a book. We are reading a book. And he gives the excuse, but he does, because, but I'm still saying to him, well, what happened to the paper book? I have to give up on that. I have to say, you know what, but at least you're reading. But when you have younger children, as long as you can get them reading the paper book, please continue to do that because it is important. And then I say this out to you, ladies and gentlemen. We all talked about the importance of education and what it and the value of it. But if you ask students today, why do they go to school? You know what you will hear? Some will say to learn. Some will say to meet their friends. Some will tell you because their parents send them. Some will tell you to get a free breakfast or a free lunch. Some will tell you to get a good education that leads to a job or college. Now, when we were in school, we knew you had to go to school, get the good grades, get a good job, get a good government job. But we knew what it is. But you see the myriad of reasons why children are going to school today, and teachers today are challenged to teach those children. All of those different variables they must address. And in doing so, the issues that teachers face is that beyond the core curriculum that they must teach, teachers are now obligated to teach conflict resolution, character skills, mental health, self-esteem, and then they must still get these children ready to take national exams. And as parents, some of us, we have fallen down on preparing our children in the social skills and the things that they need to know before they go to schools. But in order for them to operate within a classroom with other students, the teacher has to pause and to teach some necessary life skills. And then alongside that comes technology. Technology is important and the use of it is essential. And schools are expected to stay on the cutting edge of technology. But like somebody says, technology costs money. And some schools have it, some parents have it, and some schools don't have it. Some schools don't even have access to the internet in order, so even if you have the hardware, you can't use the hardware because your school isn't set up to accommodate all of the children with the hardware. Now, technology has made life easier for teachers, administrators, and students. And in order for your children to be ready to compete with other children globally, we have to have technology access available to them. How are we going to do this? We have to ensure that schools ready our children. And that, again, that may cost you more as a parent. So when you see that thing says technology fee, don't start screaming and shouting and carrying on. Because technology, you want your child to, when they go to college and university, you don't want them to be 2 or 3 years behind the children in the room with them because they did not get the exposure. They weren't able to have access to devices and have access to the technology as current and the system in college. And so we have to find a way as educators to look at the human factor, the social development of children, the technology that is going to continue to expand. Because when we thought we had it all with Google Classroom and the learning platforms and the homework being done online and turning in, and I mean, COVID helped us with that. There was a vast transformation that COVID helped us when we had to make that shift. Now, schools that dropped that technology, they have set their children back. Schools that continued and used the technology, and when we had no other choice like COVID, are well on their way for preparing the children. But guess what? Then along comes AI. Now, whether we like it or not, just like when the computers came in, AI is here to stay. And you don't embrace AI at schools, we are leaving the children behind. I remember when I first heard about AI at a admin meeting, and I'm like, Lord, not again. What else do I need to learn? Because I didn't go, and I was getting ready, I knew I was getting ready to retire, and so I'm like, but that's right. I just tried to get through the gap to the end. But we had no other choice. AI is here to stay. Just how the children and our children know, they know the Siri, they know the AI, they know the robot, like they know it. If we don't train them how to use it effectively and in a way that is, what's the word? The way that will enhance their learning. Because the difference in a student today and myself, I could take my writing and my document and ask AI to clean it up. But if you didn't write the article and you're not a critical thinker and you cannot analyze, it goes back to when we went college and told us about plagiarism. Children today need to learn to understand their work, their own work, and use AI to enhance it. Not use AI to do the work. And we know these children today smarter than us about taking the shortcuts. And so, in conclusion, I'm going to be respectful of time. I want us to understand that we have to embrace education and the future where it's headed. It will continuously evolve. It will shape our society, and the technological advancements we must be a part of. The past, the present, and the future has a gamut of skills and content knowledge that can help to propel us forward. We must leverage the power of technology. We must personalize education so that the children, the way that they learn is the way that they are tested and the way that they can prove their work. So I challenge you, Rotarians, to be a part of the decision making as to how education is gonna look in the next 20 years. Because if it doesn't impact you, your children or your grandchildren, it impacts the future of the Bahamas. We don't need to leave it to the educators. That's one thing I learned about being in education for 42 years. We ain't that smart and we don't have all the answers. The people outside the field of education can really help to raise the level of the standard of education because we see tunnel vision and we get a broader perspective from all parties concerned. So with that said, is collaboration important? Yes. Can we change education and make it better in the future? Absolutely. Are you going to do it, Rotarians? I'm sure you will. Thank you for your attention. Oh, any questions?
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Bentley, thank you for your presentation. The question I have, we were having a discussion at the table, about the state of education, here and globally. You know, now see a shift where more of the, girls are excelling more than the boys and more going off to college, matriculating, etc. Is there any consideration in terms of the learning differences between boys and girls and how we can help the boys to catch back up to where the girls are so that they're not left behind?
My simple answer to that is to put more males in the classroom and more males at the administrative level in education. Only men can teach boys how to be men. Education is just too female dominated. And so, see, when you pull a young man on the side and talk to him, man, you all know how you all go. Me shouting at you is not going to help you, and then you can tune me up. But when you pull a young man on the side and say, hey, listen, stop facing your parents. Come on, you know better than this, you know. You all have a way with young men and even boys in primary school. The more males that are around them, the better for them. Now, the flip side of that is education needs to pay the men in education the kind of money that they need to run their families. Because you can't run a family today off of what you're paid in education. That's the long and the short of it. So I understand why there are not so many men in education. But our boys today need role models in school, and not the PE teacher, and and not the music teacher. They need to see men as regular classroom teachers at the primary school level, because the formation is going to start there. Because by the time they get to grade 6, if you get that heart and mind and that evil spirit already existent, it is very hard to bend it. So I would say, and for the boys, one thing I'm a mommy of a one good son. So I am passionate about boys. I learned along the way how to close my mouth. Because my son now tells me what hour of the day it is. And he does not bend his words. And I respect that.
Good man.
Now, a lot of us women, boy, you know, I'll take you out. No. And as tough exterior as boys are, I have learned along the way that their heart, if you could get to the heart of them, they will do absolutely anything for you. So we women need to learn better how to communicate, interact, and bring out the king in all of those boys and girls.
Yes.
I hope that answers your question. That's my church brother.
How you doing, my sister?
Well,
We go to the same friend. I do have a question about AI. I always tell the story about AI. You know, for the first time in history, the rich and the poor, everybody have access to the same information. My concern in the Bahamas, and I just came from Japan a couple of weeks ago, and how people in Asia and other countries are preparing their young people in education compared to how we were doing it here in the Bahamas. The fact is that when I went to school, I went to learn, I went to get education. But with AI, that education is available in. So are you aware of whether they are talking about in the Ministry of Education and looking at this whole perspective from a new perspective and how we can apply that knowledge instead of learn that knowledge, because whether you want to believe it or not, it don't make sense when we read the book, but I could just go and get that information just like that. So, what I'm saying is, we teaching our young people really how to use this power of AI that most people understand. And then my final question is to do with the use of knowledge. In the United States right now, people with master's degree and doctor's degree are not getting any jobs. As a matter of fact, a lot of organizations now are looking for experience to come in the job. You gotta bring that skill with you. They're not looking for those degrees anymore. Many people can't even find a job. So when you look at education, what are they getting educated about and for? Because it's changing so fast.
Now, you said a whole Bible full right there. Mr. Lopez, first of all, the teachers and the decision and the policymakers with education has to understand AI and the impact that it can and will have whether we embrace it or not. There are many teachers that are still resistant, and we have to find a way to get everybody to understand, like I said, AI is here. Whether we like it or not, that's the way that it is. And teachers have to learn the difference on this child's work or whether this is straight from a robot generated to say what they think the teacher wants to hear. Because kids in high school learn very quickly, all I need to do is write what my teacher wants to say, and I'm not writing a sentence more. Because I'm giving her what she wants, all I want is a passing grade, end of story. Now, whether we as a country are ready to take on the challenge of AI, the private schools that have the money, that understand and know what needs to be done, they will run with it. The Ministry of Education has a responsibility for the masses of educating. That's a different story, because that costs money, because it costs retraining, change of mindset, and acceptance and understanding that AI has many advantages. You just have to be aware of how it can be misused. And that's the best I could say to you at this point in time. We have a lot of work to do. And we have to understand that we have to, whether we like it or not, it has to be embraced. Yes, ma'am.
Just one very quick sentence. I use AI in my business. I think what you have to teach the kids is that they have to control AI and not let AI control them. They have to be aware that they should check, because if you go onto the popular thing, ChatGPT, okay, which I use for reference information sometimes, but you have to be aware that it makes things up. It grabs inaccurate information. The kids have to be taught that you can't just assume because it's AI that it's correct. And this year's AI is going to be different to next year's AI. And they have to be taught that there's a progression there. I mean, I started out in art college and advertising, kind of rubbing down letters and then I ended up, now I'm using all sorts of, AI and, internet connections. But I think the major thing is that the kids have to be taught that they have to be in control. Don't let them assume that because they put, they've got an essay to do, if they put the title in, that anything that ChatGPT comes back with is correct, because it's not. They have to be taught that.
You are absolutely right.
I gotta make the comment that you gotta understand that. Now the fact is this, right? AI does make mistakes, but if you let them mistake, then it's made. The big thing is that you have to learn how to prepare yourself to use AI. And just going on to ChatGPT and asking it a bunch of questions is not the way you use AI. there's some massive preparation before you even start to use AI to get the right thing. I assure you, if you prepare yourself properly, you will get the right answers from AI. And it gives you citations, so you can go and check it. So, don't get carried away with the mistakes that AI makes. Because I'm telling you, it's making a lot of great things, right, and a lot of massive things are being done with AI knowledge. So you learn to use it the right way, but you can never learn to prepare you.
Yeah,
That takes that.
yeah, absolutely.
Just had an entry level AI. And it's very basic.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is. I don't use it very much. I use it
Okay,
not-
all right, yeah.
The thing about AI and ChatGPT is the more specific your questions are, the more detailed your answers will be. So if you go in knowing what it is you want to find out, and it helps you and it prompts you, you have to prompt it, sorry, and specify what it is you want to find out. What we have to make sure is that we don't let children use it as, I have this essay to do, the future of the Bahamas, education in Bahamas, drop it in and ask AI to write an essay for teachers of high school English. That is not the way to use AI. And I think it has to start from primary school, and we have to know as teachers when it is being abused.
So I've been,
For people that get hate.
okay.
What?
I've been asked to give the vote of thanks to our speaker. I won't give the tribe that member, your church leader. But, Ms. Benby, thank you very much, for coming to speak to both our clubs, also Club and the West Club. As the husband of an educator, I understand some of the challenges that you as educators face, and by extension, the challenges our nation faces from a poorly educated populace, as well as the benefits that we can get from well-educated populace as well, and the evolving landscape that education has to navigate. So we thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, and we ask you to please do come again, both to Nassau and to West Club. And this is a token of our appreciation for you coming and speaking to us.
And just one thing, one comment I'm gonna make with reference to what you said, Mr. Lopez. One of the most important things we teach our children is critical thinking. Just don't accept what is given, whether it be AI, ChatGPT. They have to be taught to critically analyze. And that is what's gonna make the difference between the children of this generation that we're raising up and our future children. They have to be able to think. Go ahead, remember. Mr. Watson, I'm gonna invite Daniel and yourselves to join us. As we go to schools, we have the drop and read program. So as Ms. Benby indicated, we really need to see more men. So as we go during this month, as we go to various schools, in particular Stephen Dillard, we're gonna invite the Rotary Club of West Nassau to join us. To take a couple of minutes out of their day and just let young men see us read to them. Okay?
Good afternoon, Rotarians. Coming around is Sergeant Victoria Ambrose. She's collecting money for raffles. Now, the raffles, one ticket is $5. 3 tickets, that's a better deal, $10. And today we have a case of rattlers, my favorite, rattlers. And also a gift from John Bull. So we have 2 prizes for the price of 1. So please be generous as she comes. And as she comes, I'm reminded of a fellow the other day in church. Rev got information that most of the men in his church were being led by their wives. And that concerned Rev to a great extent, because Rev philosophy was man is the head of the house, and how could these men be led by women? So one Sunday, Ref, he didn't fool with the altar call. He just said, all of the married men, stand. Now I want you to leave those pews, come in the aisle here, and all of you married men who know that you're being controlled and ruled by your wife, stand right there on the left side. The whole aisle filled with nothing but men on the left side. One gentleman standing on the right. Everyone became very pleased. He said, well, at least I got another fellow here like me. So Reverend Tim said, son, why are you standing here and not over there? He said, my wife told me to stand here, don't move. In the food store, a fellow had no, that's the regular mechanic, he had no, all that greasy weight, he had no man. He got a phone call from his wife. Stop by that food store. Get me this. Get me that. Get this. He said, honey, anything else? Yeah. Bring me a half a head of cabbage. So he went there, found everything else. But as he looked around, all the cabbage was a whole head. Wasn't no half a head, anything whole. So he asked the produce fellow, say, could I get just a half a head of cabbage? He said, sir, yeah, what's special? It's normally $1.39 a pound. It's now 59 cents a pound, man. You could get a whole cabbage for. He said, boy, you don't understand. My wife said, bring a head of cabbage. You want me to get a whole head to her? For her to run me back to the store? The fellow being new in the produce section became very concerned because he never had such a request. So he marched to the manager of the produce section. And he began to lament how this fellow there, so unruly, wouldn't understand, but he want half a head of cabbage. I tell you to do that. And not knowing, the fellow followed him to the manager's office. And then he looked around and said, oh yeah, and this young man, he want the other half. And you gotta be careful what names you give your children. Now, I'm not gonna pick on myself because I happen to have two of the better names in the world. My first name is Philip. My middle name is Nathaniel. They were brothers, and Jesus called, the story of that. But so names are important. But a lady had two sons. She named one Mind Your Own Business, and the next one Trouble. Imagine that, two sons. One, Mind Your Own Business, next one, Trouble. As it got a little bigger, they began to play hide and seek. It got dark. Police was patrolling the area. They said, crime is rampant here. Police patrolling the area. I noticed this fella bending down behind. Look, the police like he was trying to rob somebody. So police came up to him and said, what are you doing? Hold on, what you doing? He said, officer, my brother and I, we are playing hide and seek. He said, and what's your name? He said, the officer, mind your own business. The police said, you went for the chocolate. He said, how you know so good? Fines. We got some fines. Now again, we all know parents, and the truth, and it's beneficial to all concerned and all that good stuff. All of you who came in here after 12:30, we got a $2 fine for you. We can do the raffle for the bucket coming back. Deep down, because fellowship starts at 12:30. That eliminates all that unnecessary talk like the speakers on. So 12:30, all of you who were not here at the time, and I know who was not here now. I know, because I came in 7 after 12. But I bought the thing, who that is to that gate? And they rotate, they leave the gate open now. Then. So the gate was open, then I came in. So $2 each. Well, and then after we do that, we got some other stuff going on, but I know we got some that get back to work. Some retire after 42 years. Now they still trying to get some books going. But that's no problem, QC did it. I remember up at QC, before I got to QC, I was in, Sutton Prep then. And I'm trying to rustle my way through the Royal Arena on the pancake book. And Jack and the Beanstalk and Little Red Riding Hood. And when I go home, my brother will yell, younger than me, he reading J. Paul Getty and that big fancy books. Now, when it comes to news, as you move around, you have some good news, depending where you are, and you have some news that's not so good. Now, right now, we're getting into what I call silly season. Yeah, 3 major parties I understand going on. There's 2 major, 1 minor. But at the end of the day, the outcome is going to be good news for some people and bad news for other people. Fellow went to the doctor the other day, and the doctor says to him, you gotta come back 2 weeks time. I don't like what I see. Come back. He come back, doctor says, I got some good news and I got some bad news. He said, Doc, give me the bad news first. He said, you have 48 hours to live. So he laughed. Say, wow, no news could be worse than that. What's the real bad news? He said, the real bad news, I've been trying to get a hold of you since yesterday. So keep your phone on, man, and answer when people call, man. Don't mind you don't recognize the number, answer. You can save 24 hours. A lady went to Andres and they were having the crab fest. And crab and dough, crab soup, big crab, or you name it. And as the day wore on, they discovered that Auntie looked at her pen, looked like scattery, didn't look good. And she put those big pot of crab and rice. She told her daughter, go to that next settlement to my sister. Tell her, please send me half a dozen crabs. She went there, as she turned the yard, her auntie said to herself, I wonder what my sister want this time. So she came and said, Auntie, good afternoon, Auntie. Well, yeah, what my sister said. Mommy said you could please send out half a dozen crabs. Her sister, her auntie looked at her pen didn't look so good either. She said, here, take these 6 to your mother. I don't quite have half a dozen. Give her these 6. Tell us all I have. So when she get to the yard, her mother looked at her, could see she looked like she bring what she sent for. What my sister said? Mommy, she said, she ain't quite had half a dozen, so try see you can wait with these little 6 right here. Her mother popped them up, say, take them back to her. If she can't send what I want, tell them send me nothing. That we don't know what about that. Now, wait, I can go on. I can get it from I did not get $10. Give me 3 million tickets. 3 million tickets.
They sold already.
So, yeah, these are hanging out as well.
You got your tickets in?
I'm trying to get my money. Get my ticket, they ain't around until I get the ticket. Then go on door.
Silver Ben is gonna pick the winning ticket today. You can pick the. Yeah, you can pick the ticket today. You can.
You ready for the ticket to be drawn?
While they're waiting, they're still separating these tickets. I want us all to remember as of today, when we leave this place. Sometimes it may have slipped your memory, you get wine on the table from other stuff to drink later. It's easy to get some time, but remember, there are some things men are supposed to do. There are some things women are supposed to do, and there are some things for children. Please, whatever you do, don't ever get them mixed up. Just recently, a lady made that mistake, in my opinion, and she got it mixed up. She asked her son who was 10 years old, call your daddy, boy, call him on that cellular phone for me. Boy, did you call your daddy? Yes, mommy, I called daddy 3 times. And what happened? A woman answered the phone, mommy. The same woman answered daddy's phone 3 times, she ain't answer yet. Papa came home, hi honey, do not hi honey me. Which woman had their phone today? This phone never leave my side. Oh yeah, that leave your side. Come here, Tony. Did you say you called your daddy today? Yes, mommy, I called daddy. How many times you called him? 3 times. And what happened? A woman answered the phone, mommy, the same woman. And the daddy said, and what did the woman say when she answered my phone? I am very sorry. The cellular customer is trying to leave the line open. Thank you very much.
You gotta run, man, you gotta run, man. You have to say something the next time. The next second is. Oh, you have two tickets. That's the voice ticket. Which one you got? You know, which one? Where you take it? Where you put it? Sorry.
335 990, and the winner is.
What she get? Is that the John Bull on the rack?
They're going to John, but
Now, yeah, we have to have a conversation. You sharing the rattler?
oh yeah.
You went there.
You got a rattler?
Yeah,
On your number is.
going to big guy rattler.
335 951.
No.
335 951.
What?
All right, yeah.
Come to the front. The same table.
I thought you that.
Come right up here, stand, stay to the front. Can you just go, because you presenting the gifts for them? Let's join them. Go to them. Yeah. Daniel, let's go to the front and take a quick picture with the winners.
The best gift is going to be for the last ticket. Normally go from the low to the high, whatever.
She get that rattler. She ain't letting her go.
It's on the right.
Yeah, that's for the case of
Oh, come on, guys. You're alive.
Thanks for telling me.
She's ready, she's smiling, she's ready to party.
Which one is this? That's John Bull. Yeah. Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis.
Jeff Davis for the 4-way test.
John. Yep.
Please stand. 4-way test.
Just to let everyone know, at the end, we're gonna do, this is a very historic event, so we're gonna do a group picture right at the end.
fellow Rotarians, things we ask ourselves, is it truthful?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Build goodwill, build friendships,
Friendships,
to be beneficial to all concerned.
it'll be beneficial to all concerned.
I can only say fifth, but I love.
Go ahead. Make it fun. Make it fun. Make it fun. That's right. Make it fun. We say that here too. Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Joan,
Well,
Vice President Joan.
Rotary Club of Nassau and Rotary Club of West Nassau. The Rotary around the world.
All right.
that's right. Leave that, I'll get together for the photograph.
End the meeting, please. End the meeting, end the meeting. Just bring two or three chairs right there. This is the fun. So we split this, we split that. We split we split that. Yeah, split that. This is fun. Fine. You keep the fine. So no meeting. That's right.